Hi there, it's Egil Thorsson, and this is a first. This is a Syrian tale. Now, my apologies to anybody out there about my pronunciation. It's just we do what we can. And this is a story called Djuba, D-J-U-B-A, Djuba, borrows a pot. Come with me back in time to Syria. The weather's nice and hot. The people are doing what people do and have done for thousands of years. They're leading the camels. They've got donkeys full of panniers of vegetables. The smell of spices that permeate the air. You hear the cries of the people. And then the imam calls them to prayer. It's as many things happen. And so it is. A man called Djuba was a bit of a crafty old chap. Not the sort of fella I don't think you'd take to after a while. But anyway, he had bought a load of food. He got some falafel, which was popular out there, some leeks. He'd got garlic, oh yes, and bought some fruits like oranges, grapes and dates. In other words, he'd gone shopping to make a meal. He had a problem, a big problem. He hadn't got a big enough pot to cook it in. So it is. He thought, Djuba, what are you going to do, my old son? Hang on, he thought, Abdul, the old chap down the road, he's got a big pot, just what I need, and I'll be nice to him. Well, we won't talk in terms anyway, but I'll have a chat with him and see what we can do. So it was. Djuba left the house. Down the road he went. There's dogs yapping and people again selling their wares. He bought some turmeric because he thought that might go well with the goat meat he'd got. And knocked on the door. Who is it? It's me, Djuba. Who? Djuba. I live up the road from you. All right, yeah. What do you want? Well, I like to come in. Don't talk to you through a door. Okay. And he opened the door. There was a man, he'd be about 60. He's got a wise long beard and his hair was long. And Djuba knew him because he met him at the mosque when they go to pray 5 times a day, which is their custom. Abdul, he said, my friend, thrice blessed will you be if you could possibly, just possibly, lend me your big cooking pot. Whoa. Well, I'm not using it for the moment. Allah has blessed me, God bless him. I have dried fruit, food, and lots of fruit. Yeah, you can borrow it, but I need it back by tomorrow. Do you understand me, Djuba? Tomorrow, yes, said Djuba. I will bring you back that pot tomorrow. May Allah bless you. Thank you. And he got his door. Can you open the door for us? Okay. He opened the door, and Djuba walked along with his massive pot in his arms. And he walked along down the street. It was getting towards twilight now. The stars began to shine. And he thought, what a beautiful night. So he went back to his house, set the pot down on the fire, filled it with goat meat, water, various vegetables and spices. And I must admit, it smelled beautiful. Put a handful of raisins in, as is the custom of people from those areas. Boiled up some rice as well, and he had a beautiful meal. And as he ate it, he thought, I could do with this pot. It's well worth my effort. Come on, Djuba, he said to himself. You can work this out. And he finally, aha! And he went to sleep that night. Early next morning, he'd washed the pot out. He kept it nice and clean, and he went back to Abdul's place. Hello, where is it? It's me, Djuba. I brought your pot back. Oh, blessings be upon you. Thank you. Can you open the door? Then I can't slip it underneath. Ever the comedian, eh, Djuba? Yeah, well, got to pass the time of day. The door opened. The smile that greeted him was heartwarming. Ah, Abdul, here, thank you for your use of your pot. It has been fantastic. I really appreciate it. The old man Abdul took the pot, and as he did so, he heard a rattle. What? And he put his hand in and pulled out a small brass pot. What is this? Ah, said Djuba, the pot favours you. What are you talking about? The pot has given birth to another pot. You now have 2 pots where you had 1. Wow, said Abdul. I've never heard of a pot giving birth to a... What can I say, said Djuba. We live in very interesting times. Things happen to a chap, and you are being blessed by Allah. Blessings be upon his name, upon you. Well, it certainly seems that way, said Abdul. Thanks. Okay. So Djuba went on his way. 3 days later, his plan was going to come to fruition. He walked down the street. The vendors were calling out, "Falafel, falafel!" And there were date sellers. There were people selling fruit juice and fruits, vegetables. Djuba had been out and got a nice collection of meat, fruit and vegetables. And of course, rice. And as he knocked on Abdul's door, "Who is it?" "It's your old friend Djuba." "Ah," said Abdul. Open the door. "What can I do for you, sir?" "Well, you know you lent me your pot before, yeah? Could I borrow it again, please? Please." "Well," he said, "last time I ended up with 2 pots, so hopefully I might get another pot out of it." "Yeah, of course you can." And once again, Djuba took the big pot. And as he walked through the streets, still the vendors were crying out, selling their wares. Dogs chased cats, cats chased mice, and people sat fanning themselves. He got to his house and then ended up having his meal. 3 days went. Djuba had not returned the pot. Well, this was an odd occurrence to say the least. Abdul was getting a bit worried. That pot was something special for me. My father used it, well, my mother used it, and my grandmother used it, and there's this Djuba. I lent it to him, and I don't know what to think. Finally, curiosity and panic got the better of Abdul, and up he went to Djuba's house. No reply. What? No reply. He looked through the window. It was dark. Eventually, a neighbour came out and said, "What's the matter, Abdul? What's up?" "I'm looking for Djuba. He's got my cooking pot." "Oh, no, Djuba left. Apparently he said he was off to Jerusalem or somewhere like that. I don't know, but he'd taken all his stuff with him and left." Well, I've surely been taken in. And so it was. Abdul learnt a very good lesson. Keep a hold of your goods, and if you're going to lend it to somebody you absolutely trust. And as for Djuba, he got himself a brilliant pot, which he resettled elsewhere in Syria. Now there's a cautionary tale for all of us, don't you think? Now then, we have a big treasure chest of stories from the East. They have a great tradition of storytelling, and there will be more Djuba tales to tell. That is, if you want them, and I hope you do. They're fascinating stories, fascinating people. Thank you very much for listening to us. Now, should you want to bring this tale up, #Folktales, we'll bring it. If you want to subscribe, press the old subscription bar and bell, and leave us a comment. He's looking at me a bit odd. Leave us a comment, and if you like it, let us know. If you don't like it, let us know. We are here to cater for your needs and tastes. And maybe you've got a criticism, let us know. Constructive criticism is a great teacher. We're not omnipotent or masters of knowledge. We've got to work in knowledge, but sometimes we might get it wrong. Let us know. We will get back to you with comments as and when we can. We will, hand on heart or hand on left lung, we will. So till we meet again, stay safe and make the world a happy place. Bye.